All right, welcome to Smokey Reacts. I'm your boy journalist, and on this one, we have a video from Playback, I believe it who it is. The title was "She Hates White People Except Her White Boyfriend," and I was like, "Oh my god, what is this? What is this foolishness?" Yeah. So I seen this. I sometimes watch Playback. I mess with them man a little bit. Was it Double O? And then oh boy, I know him from like sports. I never remember Cuz name, but he's really good with basketball. That's how I ended up knowing Cuz. But I seen this, wanted to do this, and then some people on the channel have been wanting me to do more. We'll say like I guess like black content or like just give my thoughts on these type of things. And I'm like, I'm definitely down, but like I just don't see all the videos to like do them to because I'm like not particularly like mired in it because I don't live in America anymore currently. So I see like less of it on my YouTube. But like if somebody has like videos they want me to do specifically, please put it in the comment section and I'll get to them as soon as I can. That said, everything that drops on today, the 18th, will be for today, and then everything after that is just what I had loaded up for you guys until I come back on the 26th or 27th from London. So, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for anybody that watches all the way for the videos I do load up for you guys while I'm gone. And yeah, let's get into this one. Let's see what we got. Hit that like, subscribe, and Patreon and all that. It's in the description.
This isn't like full shade towards you. I just see a lot of comments like this, and this was the most recent one, so I'm just responding to this one. When white people say shit like this, it isn't the serve they think it is. Like, you're a part of the problem, fix your people, bro. Like, when white people are like, I'm white, and white people do suck. Yeah, you're probably a part of those said white people, so do something about it. The fuck? Also, I hate when white people try to validate me. Like, they're literally like, I'm white, but I agree. Bro, I don't know if you noticed, but I don't need validation from white people. Like, that's the last thing I need in my life. Like, I feel like white people always try, but they miss. Like, and I feel bad for y'all. Not that bad, though, because your ancestors suck and you're stinky and evil. But bad enough where I want to call you out and tell you not to leave comments like this because it's crusty. Anyways, for all the bleach demons willing to learn, I see you. You're not as bad as the rest.
Fucking Bleach Demon is crazy. That's crazy.
That's what happens when you take too much sociology classes. Like that's literally that's the end product right there. She is. I feel bad for her because there's no way she's happy with her life. She can't be
Literally none.
There's
Like
zero
literally.
percent chance.
She
I don't even.
she can be because everything she sees she deconstructs into whatever like white Western like understanding she has because even the way she speaks about it is like through the framing of like white history lenses like oh your ancestors are bad it's just like what Jesus Christ.
You know she knows what happiness is.
She can't.
It's just
Literally
misery, more victimhood. Just. I feel bad for people like this.
and she's playing it up really nice, bro.
Yeah.
Playing it real good.
My God,
Now
man.
you know it would be ironic. As much as she hates, as she called them, bleach demons, right? As much as she despises white people because they're stinky, right?
And crusty sometimes.
And also because of their ancestors.
The ancestors sucked.
Ancestors just stuck, man. They sucked it up, man. The irony of it all is that why would you say that but then be in a relationship with one of them, bro? Man,
That's so beautiful.
that's so.
Hey, you love who you love. You can love who you love. I have no problem with interracial dating. I don't give two fucks. But you can't have these staunch lines and then just be like, "Oh, I'm so pro black," but like hate on white people and then like date a white person. Like that doesn't make sense to my brain. Like I get you love who you love, but like that's like Clayton Bigsby's wife, but like she can see. Like what? Like I don't get why like you carry such hate for these people, but then can love one of them. Like it's not an issue. It's just the cognitive dissonance happening or cognitive dissonance happening in that moment. I'm just what? Like, oh, it's like y'all remember "Don't Be a Menace in the Hood While Drinking Juice." That my milk of magnesia. That's exactly what she's doing.
Fucking
Love
nice.
that, man.
Her stinky ass boyfriend,
Crusty ass nigga, bro. God.
That bleach demon you kissing. The fuck? Who the fuck are you? Huh? You You an odd ass nigga, bro.
Hey, bro. First of all,
You one of the weakest links.
that ass. The boyfriend. You don't respect yourself at all.
At all.
Come on, bro.
None at all.
Can you imagine if your girl was saying like, oh, like just fucking black people, man. Just if she was any other race. Violate. She was basically saying you're evil, nigga. Your parents are evil. Your grandfather's evil. Everyone's evil. You're nasty. Here's all these racial slurs. Boom, nigga. But let me love you and cherish you. I'm gonna love you, though. I'm gonna make sure.
You different, though. You definitely different.
This is insane to me.
Bro, I don't know why black people feel as if like they can't, like they don't fit under the umbrella of like saying racism or being racist or anything like that.
They don't call it racist no more. They changed the definition.
Prejudice.
Prejudice.
No. Racism has been moved to being considered to be just prejudicial in the recent update of the definition. But the original definition of racism required a power dynamic to be something that happens in that moment. Like me keeping you out of X thing due to your fucking skin tone or makeup or whatever it is would be considered me being racist because there is a structure in the thing that I'm being racist with. So that's why it used to be a thing, but the current definition of it, it's like if you read it now, it's prejudice. It's the definition for prejudice and racism are now the same definition. That we have moved the Overton window on that particular word due to the euphemistic usage of it. That's why it now is a word that can be applied, but used to not be able to be applied because there was an actual definition that made a real delineation between just prejudicial things and racist things. But now that line is gone.
That's the word you're thinking.
I'm not racist, nigga. I'm just prejudiced.
Prejudice, bro. Get it right.
Come on, bro. If you're gonna call me some shit, at least be accurate,
At least
nigga.
be accurate, bro.
Come on, bro. You know them definitions change, right?
Exactly.
Keep
See,
up.
Me as being black, I have no powers, so I can't be racist.
It's impossible, man.
Impossible, man.
Wow, I got no power, bro.
Zero
power.
I'm a powerless nigga.
So I can't be racist, bro.
Impossible.
I can sure be prejudiced, though.
You're gonna see him say all that about white people and then date a white man. And I agree, bro. As a white man yourself, bro, how do you go to sleep at night next to her, bro?
That ass. She hates you.
Like,
As a man, I have to say, the only reason men put up with shit like that, box or top or both, gotta be crazy. Cause nigga putting up with some shit that like, if it wasn't good, a nigga was not putting up with that shit. I'm trying to tell you. I've seen niggas talk about, I just got shot by my baby mama, but they're going back. Like, the shit I've seen niggas do. No, this is not a good marker for like whether or not a man should be dealing with the person. Cause like, we deal with so much stupid shit.
Like, imagine this nigga was in the shower while she was recording that, and this nigga just overhears her saying like, "Bleach demon."
Yo, if you know people like this, like toss them away, nigga. These are toxic people. They don't want happiness. I swear, they revel in the conflict that is their misery. They don't want peace or positivity. If you want a nice, beautiful life that's full of happy things, then you can't be around people like this because they don't want that for themselves. I swear to God, they don't see an issue like systemic racism and think like, damn, how can we help improve the situation? All they do is complain and talk about it. They don't take action. They don't uplift shit. All they do is sit there and fucking complain on social media and take more sociology.
The only issue with this I take with his sentiment is the complaint is still the complaint because it's not being addressed. That's the issue. It's always this take of like, oh, you're being a victim because you want to have a nuanced and focused conversation on the atrocities or the wrongs of a situation. And because nobody really wants to have that in a substantive way, which would lead to actual changes or actual policy changes or things that actually could affect people's lives when it comes to these things, that's why people are like, oh, well, we still need to talk about this because we never get to. It's like a dude that got caught cheating, and then it's like, oh, I heard you told me that I got caught cheating. I told you I did it. Let's move on. But, like, we've not talked about your cheating, how it's happened, any of the things, any of my emotional fallout, any of the actual shit that comes from actually having a conversation in those situations is very much the same. There's a lack of communication and, what is that word? Is it reciprocity? No, it's not. Like a settlement to these issues that makes it to where every time we try and build to have a fix, I still need to talk about this shit so I can then get to the fix. Telling me, oh, let's just talk about the fix or go out and fix it. Motherfucker, I can't go out and fix it because nobody wants to talk about it. They're literally making laws in the United States right now to get rid of the ability to talk about these nuanced things, to actually know what the fuck is racist, to actually know how to deal with these situations. And then just cavalierly pushing these things aside with half-hearted, well-spoken things like my boy's doing on the right. It's not good. It's also part of the problem. It's like well-meaning liberals. Like, they are just as bad as the racists because you just sound good. You say a lot of shit that sounds good, but it doesn't actually deal with the issue. And it's always in the frame of, oh, well, I'm working on actually fixing it instead of complaining about it. It's like, it's not a complaint. I'm actually bringing an issue that needs to be dealt with. Like, these are things that have to happen. Be a fucking adult.
These niggas are literally useless. And no funny shit, without trying to be too rude, if they didn't exist, we wouldn't be missing much. But there are people on this planet of color that if we did lose them, the world will have a huge loss. It would be a huge loss. Because they actually go out their way to do important things for their communities and for all different types of communities.
Do you think a lot of those people, especially because they're more like left-leaning and liberal, do you think they are okay with giving up some of their like political power just to get off like complaints on the internet, like for like internet points? They care more about what they do on the internet or just like visibly rather than actually voting and doing something.
They don't do anything.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
I swear
care
they
more
don't.
about that.
Yeah, they don't do anything useful. They wouldn't build a business that hires black people. They wouldn't, like, they don't do nothing. They don't offer money, support, time, charity. They just exist. And the only small things they do, they make sure the world knows. It's that.
Plato, Socrates, all of the people that were the storytellers and folk storytellers in Africa, the griots. Like, all these people are just people that hold space because they help lead thought. That is a very important position in our society. Are people who lead thought and actually help us dissect situations that go beyond just policy changes or voting or building businesses that can employ the type of people you feel like are downtrodden. Like, having people that are in the thought space is a thing that is very important. If we did not have them, a lot of the philosophies that these young men are speaking with, they wouldn't even have. They're not just completely internalized things. Some of them are. Some of us are people that are enlightened enough to just come up with our own ways of thinking. But the world impresses things upon us, and some of those things that are impressed upon us are the YouTube people or the fucking social media clout chasers of their time. Socrates or some of these other fucking philosophical people from back in the day. Cunts did nothing besides just chat shit and drink wine and chill with their homies. And now we talking about, laconic wit and all type of other shit. Like, it's deeper than that. And just short-sighted fucking, like, snarky remarks. Like, they sound good, but, like, they're just not as well-versed in how to actually deal with these shits or like the people that they're speaking about. It's very, these people just suck. And it's like, they do to a certain point, but like, they also, the people that suck are fucking making an actual valid point. Like, Ann Coulter's fucking ass. She's a terrible fucking person, but with her current things she's trying to do to fucking try and reposition her fucking clout chasing ass, the position she's taken where the civil rights movement has been corrupted, or not corrupted, used by other downtrodden groups, while also pushing the original people trying to do civil rights to the back. And that is an actual issue that we don't address nor talk about. And now she's getting hype in the media sphere because they're like, oh, I can't believe you're saying this. And it's like, well, she's saying a real thing, and it's from a terrible person. There's a nuance that needs to happen in this conversation so we don't get lost in the fact that the wild shit she's kind of saying. She's a shit person. The idea that she's saying is very true, but there's a layer of nuance to it that's necessary to understand that it's not disregarding all those other people that, yes, with the umbrella technical term civil rights, I'm a civilian of this place, I would like to have rights. That has been co-opted for many other things now, and in its usage in many other places, we have forgotten the initial reason why we have done it, and we have not made as much movement as we should have or could have with a more focused or aware presence of how these other things are using this while taking care of this. Because people always push the black conversation to the side, like, stop complaining about it, we're moving on to this. It's like, well, can we fix what we was complaining about first? That's all we're asking. Just fix it first. It's very simple.
It's a sad world, bro, because they don't actually want to change things. They just want to make it look like they care about changing things. It's about like they want to feel in their heart like they're morally better than people. They get a kick out of believing that like, oh my God, look at all these morally corrupt people and like all these ancestors. Like, shut up.
I couldn't take nothing serious from her. She got her cast ass all up in her video like this.
You stupid fuck!
I think she's mentally deranged.
Whoa.
She's,
I didn't know that's what that was about to be.
She don't belong in a
Hold
mental
on,
institute.
wait.
Come on, a mental institute.
Got a white boy on my roster. He be feeding me pasta and lobster.
Oh, man. Yo,
That nigga's, the boyfriend is insane.
yeah, he's insane.
Come on, you see
He's
her
an
post-
insane
like,
nigga.
You not have standards, nigga?
He's an insane
You see her
nigga.
posting? Go back, nigga. Go back to that video.
This?
What world are we living in?
I don't know,
What
bro.
world are we living in? Why do you get to call them evil and then associate with them? Fuck association, nigga. You're in love with them.
That's the difference between you and I, isn't it? You severely need others' validation to exist. Well, I thrive off man.
But you're dating
This is
him.
so ironic, Marcel. This is so ironic. This is so, yo.
She did say she didn't need white people validation, but she's dating a white person.
Like, you don't. Bro.
Just to throw Shorty just a little bail. Who she loves and her political views do not have to coincide with who the fuck she chooses to date. That's not how this works. Now, are they doing the bit on like, yeah, like, oh, like she's hates white people, but like dates a white guy? Ha 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 ha. Look at how that's funny. It's like, yeah, but like, let's be an adult for 2 more seconds. How she thinks does not preclude her or exclude her from what she would like to date. That's not how this works. Or also, at the end of the day, he could be a white guy and just treats her right as a person. And she can then square that with her political views or her social views. It's very hard to understand to us that may not do that. But it's very easy to understand if you take 2 seconds and just be like, ah, well, like, if somebody was your enemy, or that you perceived as your enemy, treated you nicely and in a fair way that you felt was good, and they made you feel good and you liked them, well, then you might make some allowances that you might not make in other spaces. Like, you just have to just be a little bit more of an adult. Like, life is like fucking, oh, it's a crazy tapestry. It's a crazy tapestry. It's not black and white. It's not gray. It's full fucking color. There's bleed everywhere.
Bro. Oh my God.
I don't think. I don't think she understands what's going on.
Hey. So I took a little break, turned off my comments, went on a little hiatus just because the comments were getting ugly. And it's my phone, so I don't have to see anything I don't want to. You know what I mean? We love the block button. We love the delete button.
Nah. You put yourself in a public space, you deal with the public space. If you want to espouse these type of ideals, if you want to speak this fervently about how you feel about some shit, you cannot hide from the fallout. That is why I think freedom of speech is great. You have every right to say this shit, but you are not free from of consequence. Like, you're not free from consequence from the things that you say, be it legally or having to defend your ideas or hear other people's ideas after you said yours. It is an open forum. Like, you've said some crazy shit. Other people are going to say some crazy shit back to you. That's just what it is. If you can't stand on that, especially when you put it in a public space, then I don't think you should have rights to the public space, because that's just not fair. That's you being a sucker. Like, you want to say some crazy shit, then expect some crazy shit to come back at you. And if you have a crazy idea, be ready to defend it. Or is your idea even that good? Or do you believe in the shit you actually say you believe if you can't defend it and stand in the fire? Because I can't fuck with you if you can't.
We love a comment filter section. We love limited comments. We love them. Do what you need to keep yourself safe. A lot of these people.
Isn't that so fascinating? Isn't it fascinating? The instinct is to censor everyone's opinion.
Even though her opinion was white people are bleach demons and they stinky.
But
and
she gets to say that on TikTok.
Yeah, she
For
gets
some
to
reason
say
it
that.
doesn't get taken down. by
No,
the way.
it doesn't. I know.
Which is insane
crazy.
because TikTok be taking down everything.
Yeah.
So that's cool. But then when a nigga criticizes her dumbass take, like, turning your phone off is valid. Honestly, like.
No, for sure.
If you're,
But like,
it's valid.
but she should have turned off her phone before she made that post. She should have did.
But limiting the comments and then bragging about like how fun it is to limit comments, you can't pretend like it doesn't get to you and also limit comments. These
Facts.
things is impossible to happen at the same time. You limit the comments because it is getting to you, and which is okay to admit. But the problem is they don't want to look vulnerable, so they pretend like they're this indestructible being that doesn't like get phased by anything. You're phased by the comments. You don't like the fact that not everybody likes you. The reality is your take is so horrendous, it's easy to not like you. Like, she gets how many views? She gets a few thousand views. The fact that she has to limit her comments means that just nobody likes what she's saying.
I know.
Where is the audience that enjoys this content?
I think a lot of people just dunking on her on there. Like, all right, let's follow up. Let's do a bunch of follow
She doesn't
up.
have 5 views.
Yeah, I know.
There's a few thousand people dunking on her.
But the thing is, I just don't understand is why do you feel, because like if I'm on the internet trolling, I know I have to just accept the fact that the trolls are going to follow up behind it. I can't control that.
Yep.
People are convinced that they're genuine when they aren't. So they're asking these questions being like, you're with a white man and you don't like white people, da da da. And it's like, okay, but like if you ask me a genuine question, I will answer. But it seems like if it's coming from a vicious place, I won't answer. Now, all of this is happening because of a video I posted in 2021. Do I stand by everything I said? Yes. If I were to make the video today on the same topic, would I phrase it the same way? No, but that's just because I've expanded my vocabulary and I've found new communication styles that work better than previous ones. You know what I mean? But also, along with that, I also just think the people that are meant to get it, and the people that aren't. You know what I mean? I also thought we went over generalizations in 2021 when the whole ACAB situation happened. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter if your Uncle Cop is a good person. He's a part of a system that's inherently evil. The same could be said for any demographics of privilege. Man.
But then that go for white people like this. They just play the oppressed Olympics, and as long as they,
I just say she just speaks with such a lack of accountability in what her words may have caused or the things she was saying. Like, to say, oh, I've learned new communication styles while trying to act like the communication style you used beforehand was good enough or didn't allow you to say some stupid shit and then just own it. It's just like crazy. Like, you said some wild shit. You have changed the way that you may look at the world or just white people as a whole, probably through your interaction with your white boyfriend. Admit to that shit. You've had growth and maturity. It's called being a fucking human. It's not bad. Humans are inherently wrong. When we do get it right, it's good because we were fucking wrong so much. That's why we know what a right and a wrong looks like. Like, you're not fucking perfect. You're not infallible. Like, we're all fucking wrong. Even with the confidence I speak in these videos, when I say things about their ideals or the way that these young men in this video are speaking, it's from my current understanding. But if I'm presented with a better idea or somebody refutes the things I'm saying in this video, I'm mature enough to be like, you know what? That actually is a better outlook, or I was wrong on this topic. And I have no problem admitting that shit, but acting like I didn't say the shit in the first place and just like, oh, well, like, I've learned something new today and we've moved on. Like, what are we doing? Like, be a fucking adult.
they are at near the top, the higher you are, the more you can complain, and the less you can like not even act as if like you're
But I just hate
participating.
the fact that she gets to pretend like she's the victim of an oppressive system, which in reality, all things are relative.
Yes.
Of course, I get treated very unfairly by the police here, and it's objective. I got sent to jail for something I didn't do, and they didn't give me no opportunity to explain myself. It was all fraudulent over a clerical error.
Sorry about that. Man's out here trying to get everything done for London before we go.
Of course, I experienced it firsthand. But the point is, it's just mind blowing to me how she doesn't have no perspective because she's so in her head about her own experiences. You are the beneficiary. If you live in a first world country, you are the beneficiary of very oppressive systems. There are plenty countries that have the resources, the everything to have wealth. But in all reality, because of the way their borders were drawn up by some of these Western countries, they will never see peace. They will never see prosperity. Because of all the meddling countries like America do in their countries, they will never see peace. It will always be war. It will always be corruption. Because that is what it like. It's like that by design. But like, I have respect for the niggas that like use oppressive systems and try and find a way to give back. Okay.
I highly doubt she falls.
She doesn't though, but I know she doesn't. There's 0% chance, bro. She's sitting here complaining on TikTok, calling niggas evil, and a whole bunch of other shit.
Yeah.
Also, you can't say that the niggas that get it, and the niggas that don't get it, and you change your communication style. If there's an overwhelming amount of people that don't get it, you just suck at communicating.
Also, if you said that you would update your language, that means
Can't say just because a lot of people don't get it. Niggas used to all think the world was flat, and then the nigga said that the world wasn't flat, and then there was a bunch of people that didn't get it, and there was niggas that did get it. Like, it does work. Both of you guys are both. It's like two things are correct at the same time and also wrong at the same time. Like, he's doing so good. He's doing so good.
that there would clearly be a bunch of people who didn't understand it because of your language. know,
only
yeah.
taught one
I
perspective.
know, yeah.
And it's like there's so many ways to think about the same thing, and you could pick one and believe it, but you should also know there's other ways to think.
For sure.
You feel me? There's some things that are objectively true. The world is fucking round, nigga. It's a sphere. Like if you think it's flat, there's just way too much evidence to.
Talk to the right person. No, nigga.
There's way too, but most things, especially ideological things, like that's why I got tight when I was in uni, dog, because I went to one sociology class, and they make you feel like by learning that you're becoming a better person because you're caring more about things that are wrong about society. But in all reality, they don't give you no tools to actually improve those things, but they also don't tell you this is one frame of thought. And all my life, if you take enough of those classes, you become this victim. This is the level 3 Charizard evolution of a
victim,
fucking
yeah.
she has to have a master's in sociology.
Skinny people, wealthy people, Christians, etc. Not all of them as individuals are evil. They are all part of a system that's evil, and you have to actively work against it in order to be a decent person, a part of that system. So, clarification there. Disliking whiteness, hating whiteness is not the same as disliking white people, especially on an individualistic level. Another clarification. Being pro-black does not mean anti-white.
She just pulled the whole I've got a black friend on an individualistic level is telling somebody, oh, I can't be this because I've got a black friend. She just pulled it.
Individualistic level. Another clarification. Being pro-black does not mean anti-white. Another clarification. Just because I'm with someone who's socialized and perceived as a white man right now does not mean... Another clarification. Just because I'm with someone who's socialized and perceived as a white man right now does not mean...
What the fuck this is?
Another clarification. Just because I'm with someone who's socialized and perceived as a white man right now does not mean...
Socialized and perceived as a white man right now. Oh, the mental gymnastics that this bird is doing is ridiculous.
I chose him because he appears that way, which means like I didn't do it in spite of black men. Like,
Did you say this nigga socializingly appeared?
Wait, let me hear what you're saying. Fuck, bro. Let me hear what
I didn't even say nothing.
I know, but I just want to hear what
Play it back, nigga.
I know, I'm about to play it back, but fuck, hold on.
Just because I'm with someone who's socialized and perceived as a white man right now does not mean I chose him because he appears that way. Which means like I didn't do it in spite of black men. Like it was never, oh, I'm with this man because I don't fuck with black men. Like no, I've been romantically and sexually involved with black men. Been romantically and sexually involved with all genders and races, truly. Like, and honestly, like I think as far as like connection goes, like cultural understanding, black women are obviously always going to be like at the forefront of everything I do. And that goes for romantically and sexually as well. But as far as like my personal life, I don't see how that's involved in my morals. Like to an extent.
How do you separate romantically and sexually from your personal life? This is why it's just like word vomit. And like she's never just around people that like challenge her ideas at a level that requires her to sharpen the way that she articulates herself to be more precise with what she's saying, or she's just saying shit. And like she is well read. I can't say completely educated. She does sound educated. I'm not saying she doesn't, but just I don't know the levels of education she has had, so I'm not going to presume any of it. It's just more so it seems like the people that she has to sharpen her arguments with are either like an echo chamber, or nobody that is in her echo chamber has a higher frequency of thought than she does. Like she is the top of her echo chamber.
That I do, like if I was dating a white supremacist, that'd be one thing. But dating a white person doesn't matter.
Calling folks bleach demons and then dating a white boy is essentially like dating a white supremacist. If you can call white people bleach demons, that's just fucking ridiculous. Like, what the fuck? It's a crazy term. Oh my God.
Matter if they're a decent enough person, it really doesn't matter. If they stand behind my morals, it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to come on here and defend my partner and advocate for my partner and talk about how valuable they are because one, it's dangerous out here and people are scary. And two, I don't think people deserve to know that side of him yet, you know? I also think some of y'all need to get a grip or get a hobby because the way people have been harassing me on every single social media is crazy. Harassing my partner as well, who literally has not done anything. Guilty by association, I guess. And obviously stands by what I say, so I get it. But also people have been sending me like Cash App requests just to send me a hateful message because I turned off my comments and I've not been accepting DM requests. Like, please get a grip, y'all.
I see what she's trying to say. It's just so fucking stupid. Jesus. Bro. The thing I hate about black people sometimes, They say these things, but if it was done to black people, y'all would be upset. So,
Furious.
like, I understand what she's saying, that she was making a generalization, and she believes that white people are participant in some way in a systemic racism or whatever it is that will impede other people's growth economically, et cetera, in many ways, right? All right, so I get that. And so you're making a generalization, not necessarily an individual standpoint. However, if somebody else made a generalization about black people in that manner, especially going to the leaps and bounds to calling someone a bleached demon, I don't even understand how that even crosses your mind. I just don't get it. Maybe affording you some level of like leeway because you were younger. You said you did it 2-3 years ago. Maybe you were just speaking a little edgy, whatever. But not understanding why people would find that very hypocritical in you is blowing my mind right now. You were running around calling white men bleached demons, white people bleached demons. You were acting as if white people at large, they do some of the most ridiculous things. And also, let me say this to white people as well, bro. The white guilt thing is hilarious to me. As a black man, that is that is by far black people's favorite punchline, man. White guilt, because black people, we can just say whatever the fuck we want to say to y'all niggas, and we know we can get away with it because of white guilt. That is by far our favorite punchline, bro. The fact that she said that shit and it's on the internet and this cuck-ass white nigga sat there and was you're my black queen. That is mind-blowing.
Oh, fuck. I fucking love and hate euphemisms. Words have meaning. Even calling this man a cuck in this situation does not work. Fuck. They both be they be cooking. They be cooking with grease. This is why I fuck with these niggas. It's because they be cooking and it's just one small thing. I was just God damn it. God damn it, my nigga. Why?
To me, nigga, that is mind-blowing. That's mine, because there's no way that a white man will be able to say that on the internet about black people and then come back and say, oh, that was a generalization.
My communication style back then.
Yeah, it just grew
I changed, bro.
No way that y'all would ever, in your right mind, date a white man that would ever say a generalization.
We allow conversation by people of color, minorities, black, whatever, to say some of the most crazy things on the internet about ourselves, meaning black people. And then when we have a black person like this young lady here who says something about white people, you're like, oh, but you'd never let this happen. But you don't say nothing about the black man that's out here calling people betas and fucking talking to black women all crazy and shit like that. I can't remember Cut's name, but he'd be like, beta, whatever that nigga's name is. He'd be talking crazy to black women. Just bare disrespectful, making mass generalizations. But you're not bringing that guy up. Just like you're bringing this girl up and saying that these things don't happen, yet they do happen and people get canceled for it. Should she get the same fallout? That would be an equal world, but this is not an equitable world. We don't just pass out bad things to people like we pass out good things to people. So this is where it's not just built off of white guilt. It's also just the allowance inside this shit fucking racist structure that we do have called fucking society. That shit allows for these things sometimes, and they just fucking, what is the double standard of the situation? And she's definitely benefiting from it, because if a white person did say that, or somebody from a different race, that's the ass, Mr. Postman. That's just what it is.
To that severity about black women or black men or black people in general, no way you would. So if your boyfriend had said something crazy about black people and told you, babe, that's just a generalization. Of course I don't think that about you. You're not going to believe that nigga. So all our black queens out there, let us know, would y'all kiss Fuentes, man? Would you kiss Donald Trump, man? Would you, our Nubian queens, would y'all kiss up on Donald Trump? Huh? Y'all kiss up on Joe Biden? Huh?
My thing is just love who you love. Especially for me, since it's been fucking a really long time since I've talked to a white woman. It's just speaking with a white woman, you do, especially with the pro-black stances that I do have to think about well, what's his relationship going to be like? How are my political and social beliefs going to overlap with hers? How much of her political and social beliefs do I feel like are costuming, or are they actually things that this person feels? These are things that you have to deal with every race of person, because I could get with a black woman who socially and politically views herself more in a white power structure, and I don't view myself or the things that I associate myself completely with in those type of framings. So it's just a generalization all around to just be like, ah, well, she thinks like this, she spoke like this, so she can't have the love that she has. It's like, you love who you love, yo. Like that's why love is ugly. Like it's a vicious thing. Love is not all fucking roses and bubbles. Roses is love is a very confusing and nuanced situation, and it gets turned into black and white when people start speaking like this. When she speaks the way she speaks, but then loves who she loves. It like we're like, but how do you do this? It's like, because you love who you love. But I may think about the world the way I think about the world, but I love who I love. It's a tough one. Overall, it's just messy. I don't know. I don't know why she was talking like that. I'm glad I checked this out. They did a pretty good job overall. Like, kind of just refuting some of her bullshit, and then also kind of speaking about these subjects. But everybody in this video, excluding myself, just speaks like well-meaning liberals. They either want to brush past topics that need to actually have a discussion, or they say things that are like half-truths that require further discussion to like actually decide whether or not that's the truth of the situation or the way that a thing should be dealt with. And that's where I feel like a lot of these conversations when it comes to race or like men and women dynamics, sex, any of these things, that's where we lose, is we don't have like a nuanced conversation with good faith, because everybody's always trying to score a point, like, oh well, yeah, if this is that, then this is this, and now that's that. And it's like, you're just speaking to just say something at the back end of somebody else's thing, instead of really taking the time to understand it and really try and extrapolate and break down the whole fucking thing, which is a long process, and it's long, and it's tiring. But I just wish more of us would be willing to do it, because I feel like we'd have more substantive conversations on these topics. Because otherwise, it's just a bunch of people just trying to score points on somebody to like, I made them and their idea look stupid. See, my ideal's better. And it's like, maybe, but like, you didn't really like speak to her ideals or anything. You just kind of just shitted on theirs and didn't leave no space for like your ideals to be wrong too. And it's like, that's actually how it works. Like, if you're not leaving space to be wrong, or like taking the moment or pause to like, all right, I may not be right on this, you're not really, in my view, trying to have a real conversation. You're just trying to score points. But that's it for me on this one. Thank you for joining me. Please do hit that like, subscribe. Patreon's in the description. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out of here. Peace.